How to survive CNA school and be prepared for the state exam. 5 tips. Some of you are intimidated by what the state exam is going to look like, and oh my God, CNA school, how am I going to survive it? I've actually convinced some people to go on their nursing career by attending a CNA school and moving beyond that. So do you want to know how to survive? Okay, come back. Let's talk. Hello and welcome to another episode of Nurse Amy TV. My name is Nurse Amy and I'm a CNA instructor. In this channel, we'll talk about everything CNA and how to survive CNA school and beyond. I also have lifestyle videos. I do inspirational and motivational videos also. And I'm a general do-gooder. Anyway, so how are you going to survive in CNA school? And how also are you going to pass your CNA exam, your state exam? Okay, first thing first, for you to do your state exam, you have to pass through your CNA school. So that means you have to pass your CNA school first, become certified, which qualifies you to then go ahead and take your state exams. So I have 5 tips for you. Number 1, just moving right along, we're getting right into it. Take notes. As a CNA instructor, I actually literally spoon feed my students. I'm always spoon feeding my students. That's what I do. I'm writing notes. I am giving them drawings. I am showing them videos. I'm trying as much as possible to make it easy. Now, if your CNA instructor is doing all of this and more, please take notes. Make sure you take notes. If they've taken their time and they're instructing and they're describing and they're showing videos and they're giving you slides, then you also do your part of the agreement, right? You're in the classroom, your instructor is giving you material. Make sure you take notes. I've been in classes where I'm busy scribbling on the board. I'm drawing diagrams just to get the information across to you in a very simple method. I give tips on how to pass, on how the skills can be made easier. I give my class tips on the techniques of how to pass, how to do the skills. Okay, I tell them tricks of the trade. And I have some students just sitting there staring at me. What am I supposed to do? To beg you to take notes? So please take notes. Take notes, because those notes don't only help you during your CNA program, but those notes help you beyond the CNA program. Now, I do have this video titled CNA School, but it also applies to nursing school. Take notes. Always be taking notes, because for those smart ones out there, those notes might actually come back to bite your ass if you didn't take them. However, if you took them, that's where you're going to be up in your grade, because questions might be coming from there. Okay. Another thing is, I always tell my students this, just in case you don't know, I'm talking CNA school, but even in nursing school, in your textbook, you have those little boxes, those little colored boxes in different colors. Make sure you are reading those boxes. Oh, yes. Make sure you're reading those boxes. Questions come from there. Those boxes are like snapshots of all that they've talked about, either in a special paragraph, in a page, or maybe such as a snapshot of the whole thing. In some textbooks, actually at the end, they give a summary and they give you key points. Make sure you're noting those things. Make sure you're reading them. Make sure you're understanding them. If there are questions at the end, if there are questions at the end of the chapters, read those questions answer them, remember the answers. Okay? Read the chapters. Make sure you're reading those square little boxes. There's square little boxes strewn all over the chapters. They're all there. They're colored in different colors. It doesn't matter how many boxes are there. Read your chapters, but make sure those little boxes, you're taking note of them and you're noting what's in there. Questions come from those places. And then at the end of some chapters in some books, there is a summary, a snapshot of all that's in that chapter. Make sure you're reading it because there are key points in it. Questions come from there. And of course, if you have questions at the end of the chapters with answers at the back, make sure you remember those answers. Questions also come from there. Now, I hate textbooks like this because there are some textbooks where they ask you questions and then there are no answers. Okay, do your due diligence. Try and find the answers on Quizlets, because I can tell you right now, I can promise you, I can assure you, your textbook that you're using is not an island by itself. So if there are questions at the end of the chapter and there are no answers at the back, I can tell you, all the people using that textbook are also searching for answers. So go online and type them in. Those questions will come up either on Quizlets and in other places. Do your due diligence. That's a way to survive in nursing school and also in CNA school. So what this I'm giving you will help you even in medical school. In my class, I have pre-PA students, I have pre-med students, and I have pre-nursing students. I have people returning, coming back to the, people that are doing their second act. They've flipped and they're changing their projection or trajectory and they're going into healthcare. These things are going to help you. Make sure you're looking at those squares. Make sure you're looking at those boxes. Okay? So another thing is ask questions. Always ask questions. Never be intimidated to ask questions. Now, for those of you who cannot ask questions in class, one thing I afford my students have direct access to me, and I am cognizant of the fact that one size doesn't fit all. Some people can ask questions in class, 200 questions. Sometimes it can be annoying, but you know what? They're asking questions because they need answers. Now, some of you don't necessarily can or want to ask questions in front of the class. Well, make sure you get, you have a way to reach your instructor, okay? Either by email or by phone or however way your instructor has given you directions to reach them. If they haven't, go ahead and ask. You don't have to ask in front of the class. You can always meet your instructor behind the class. My students do that. And I do take note of people who do that. I do that. When I was in school, I do that. I'm trying as much as possible to be in front of my instructor, not necessarily in front of the whole class. No, but I will speak to my instructor like, how can I reach you? Because when I'm studying, I might have some questions or I need an answer and I can only get it from you. I might have researched it and I'm not getting it. But I'm making the effort to let this instructor know that I'm working hard. That is one way to survive. Reach your instructor, be able to ask questions. It doesn't have to be in front of a class. Make sure you're able to reach your instructor, okay? And do extra, do the extra. I have students who are asking me questions all the time, and that's okay, because I'm that student. I'm asking questions all the time. Yes, I'm always asking questions in front of the class and behind the class. That's me. I am that student. So another thing, especially for CNA schools, another tip, the third one now, is that, no, I've done the third one. The fourth tip is practice your skills during downtime in the classroom. Okay, I see students who do that and my heart goes out to them. I'm only human. I can tell they're trying hard. And there are times when they come to a place where they're really struggling. And I'm making a case for them with the school director. I'm letting them know, like, look, this person is working hard. We're not giving out grades. We're not giving out marks, no. But then again, I have to put it into perspective that, look, this person is really learning here and really trying so hard. And again, the extras count. So you practice your skills. You got to keep practicing. Practice your skills. Downtime during classroom, if you're able to, because then it shows the instructor that you mean business. Keep practicing. Practice at home on your husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, on your kids. You know, there are times when my students will send me videos. I tell them, send me videos, again, because I'm trying to work with them. I'm trying to work with them. I can see they're struggling and I'm like, okay, you need more practice. Go home, show me what you've done, and I'm going to critique you. Again, I teach you to pass. So these are ways to survive in school. Go ahead and practice those skills. It's not easy, but it can be done. Now, when I say it's not easy, I'm trying to tell you that unless you do those skills the way they're supposed to be done in the book, nobody does it when they're not being tested, or they're not, you know, the test observer is not testing them. Nobody does that. So there's a way to pass, and there's a way to get the work done or the job done. So make sure you're practicing. Practice at work. I have nursing students, I have nursing aides who are in my class who also work. Go ahead, practice. Get permission. In fact, there's a way for you to bond with your patient. If your patient is open to it, practice with them. They love the attention. Is one way also for you to get close to your patient and provide that patient-centered care that is so important in healthcare. A lot of times we're so busy trying to move from point A to point Z that we're not seeing the in-between, because you got to chart, you got to make sure you're dotting the I's and crossing the T's. I mean, it's all about documentation, okay? And then we forget, because we're racing against time, to actually talk to our patients. So why don't you go ahead and practice your skills on them? That's the time where you can actually have the indirect care, which, by the way, for those of you who don't know this, or for those of you who do, let me remind you, during your state test, you are also graded on indirect care. Interpersonal interaction with your patient. It doesn't matter if it's a mannequin. They're going to grade you on the indirect care. That's the indirect care. How you're polite, how your personality with them, how you're professional, things like that. Okay? So go ahead and practice. I keep telling you guys this, like I tell my students. Practice makes perfect. You have to keep practicing those skills so you can pass. There's a way to do the skills to pass the exam. There's a science to it. Go ahead and practice it. Watch videos if you can, just to understand it. And if you're not sure or you're not clear, go ahead and ask your instructor if those videos are some of the skills they're teaching. If it's still relevant, you need to be careful what skills you're looking at. If it's, I don't know, even 2 years old is old, because they keep changing the student or the candidate handbook. Make sure that the candidate handbook is current. When you're looking at videos, look at current videos, okay? Now, there are basic skills that don't change much, but you just need to know the basics, okay? Keep practicing. Practice at home, practice in the classroom, practice at work. Another thing, this is the fifth tip. Answer and study, practice questions. Study and answer, practice questions. You're going to have to. Okay, you're going to have to, as a nursing student, as a CNA student, as a medical student. It doesn't matter what kind of students you are, especially in the healthcare field, you're going to have to practice questions. There is a science to answering questions, and that's something I do in my coaching classes. I coach nursing students, and of course I coach my class, CNA students, and I teach them. There are ways. If they're asking you a question that is asking for the best answer, there's a way to answer that. If they're asking you for an answer or response that needs you to think of the first thing to do, there's also a way to answer that. You need to know these things, but then it comes with practice of questions. Keep practicing. If you're not practicing, well, then that means you're not doing what you're supposed to do. So these are the 5 tips that are actually going to help you. So hopefully I gave you value on how to survive in nursing school / CNA school and pass your state exam. Please go ahead and smash the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and again, share my videos for those that are out there just struggling and wanting videos like this. I wish I had videos like this when I was in school. Okay, so until I come your way again, be safe.